okay. Thank you for asking.
Nice. That's good to hear. What have you been up to since I saw you last?
Right. I just have the lunch.
Past tense?
I had the lunch.
No article.
Had
I had
lunch.
lunch. Good.
Okay.
What'd you have for lunch?
Sure. Uh, Chicken, salad, French fries, juice, and soup.
Chicken salad, French fries, juice, and soup. Sounds
Right.
good, actually. What kind of
Yes.
soup?
Uh, no, I don't know. My mom cooked the lunch.
Okay. Your mom cooked the soup, so you don't really know what kind of soup it was. All right. Rebecca, welcome to class. How's it going?
It's going well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Yeah, good to see you again. What have you been up to today, Rebecca?
Well, I've been working out early in the morning. I've been working, and
Okay.
I've been studying, and a normal life during in the middle of the week. Normal day.
All right. Um, okay. And I guess that's good. Anna Carolina, how about you? How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Um, and what have you been up to since I saw you last?
I went to the beauty salon. I cut my hair and
Nice.
I get my nails done.
I get my nails done?
Yes,
Mm, past tense?
I got.
My nails done. Um, yeah, I believe, unless, yeah. So you could say I went to the beauty salon where I generally get my hair cut and get my nails done. Um, or if it's like, if that's what you did, you got your hair cut and you got your nails done. Um, okay. Are you happy with your haircut?
Mm, no, because my hair is shorter. I like long hair.
Why'd you get your
Ah,
hair cut then?
because I had to trim the. How can I say, teacher? Um, gosh, when it is in, I don't know. You told me once, but I forgot. Uh,
I don't know. What do you mean? Um,
hold on.
like where on your head?
The ending. There
The
are
ends?
some.
The split
Uh,
ends.
the ends. There were some
Split
some
ends?
tips. Split ends. Yes, there are some split ends, and I had to fix. But I think the woman cut
Too much.
too much, in my opinion, because I like long hair and I feel it's shorter.
Oh, well, I'm
It's
sorry.
similar. It's like before, but I've been missing the part he cut.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Um, I do that to myself a lot, where I cut
It
off more than
will
I want.
grow again.
Yeah,
No
I will.
problem at all.
Yeah. And Tariq, welcome to class. How's it going? Ooh, Tariq, I can't quite hear you.
Uh, could you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Could you hear me?
Yeah. How's it going?
Uh, I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm
Too.
doing well, thanks. Um,
Uh,
okay. And what have you been up to today, Tariq?
well, it's a typical day. I guess I have a guest from Belgium, and I show our stuff. I'm working a company, a manufacturer textile company. Our yarns to my customer, and I hope he like it. He take a order from us. I hope, and just typical day. Yes, I'm a customer representative in a yarn company, manufacturer textile company. I'm
Okay.
taking care of the customer origin
I take
country,
care of the
especially
customer,
Belgium. Yes, I take care of
the customers,
customer.
just generally. Okay, cool. Um,
Uh-huh.
you're breaking up a little bit, by the way. I don't know if there's anything you can do to get like a little bit of a stronger connection, but you are breaking up a little
Yes,
bit.
I have it. I
Can't quite hear you. Um, Ali, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay,
Thanks
welcome to
for asking.
class.
Yeah,
And good to
thanks.
see you again.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks.
okay, and Luba, how's it going with you? Luba?
Hello, Joshua.
Hey,
Um, Everything is going fine, and you?
nice, doing really well. Thanks for asking. And let's get started so we can finish the class. Let's get started with the class. And let's start with Ali. Can you read the title and then this first paragraph?
Yeah, Adams, George Sanders. I never could stomach Adams, and then one day he's standing in my kitchen in his underwear, facing in the direction of my kid's room. So I whack him in the back of the head, and down he goes. When he stand up, I whack him again, and down he goes. Then I roll him down the stairs into the early spring muck, and I'm like, if you ever again, I swear to God I don't even know what to say. You a miserable jerk.
Okay, good. Let's look at miserable. Miserable.
Miserable. Yeah, miserable.
Uh-huh. And stands. Stands.
Stands.
Okay, good. Uh, okay, so there's some strange words here. Questions. Does anybody have any questions here? Okay, I never could stomach. What's that mean?
I barely can deal with him. Like,
Yeah. Good. So like I hate him and I've always hated him. I never could like deal with being around him. Okay. Wonk. What does wonk mean? Any ideas? Wonk?
hit?
Yeah. Hit. It is like a nicer way of saying hit, so it doesn't sound as bad. It sounds kind of silly. So it
And what is
makes.
the... Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What is the first form? I mean, the present simple.
To wonk. I wonk. I wonked is the past tense.
Okay. Mhm.
Um, yeah, so the grammar here is a little bit strange, but yeah, this is the present simple. I wonk him. Uh, and questions.
Yeah, what's a early spring muck?
Muck is mud. So because it's early spring, it's raining a lot, and the ground is muddy, and so he rolls into the mud.
Yeah,
Make sense?
yeah.
Okay. And any other questions? Okay. So Adams is the neighbor, and the narrator is just the narrator. Let's have Amp. Can you read the next part? Oh, wow.
Oops. Karen got home. I pulled her aside. Upshot was, keep the doors locked, and if he is home, the kids stay inside. But after dinner, I got to thinking. Guy comes in his shorts, and I'm sitting here taking this. This is love for my kids. Because what if we slip up? What if a kid gets out or he gets in? No, 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 no. I was thinking not acceptable.
Not acceptable. Acceptable.
Not acceptable.
Yeah, not acceptable. Okay, perfect. The upshot is like the decision. It's like what we decided. Any other questions?
What does slip up means?
Slip up is like make a mistake.
Oh,
What if we
thanks.
make a mistake? So it comes from sports. If you're like running on a field and you slip up, you fall down, you're not doing what you should be because you should be on your feet doing something good for the team. So that's where slip up comes from.
Is it a formal or informal? Where can we use it? Slip up.
It's informal, but you could use it anywhere. You could use it in business English. You could use it. You could use it anywhere for make a mistake. Yeah, don't slip up, man. Any other questions? Okay. And let's have Anna Carolina. Can you read until back? Or actually read until again.
So I went over and said, "Where is he?" To which Lynn said, "Upstairs." "Why?" Up I went, and he was standing at the mirror, his shoe in his dark underwear. Only now he had on a shirt, and I wonked him again as he was turning. Down he went and tried to grab out of the room, but I put a foot on his back. "If you ever," I said, "if you ever again."
Oh, sorry. So what's happening here so far? Does anybody know? Can anybody explain? Okay, nobody? No ideas? Okay, so we've got a neighbor, the narrator, who's writing. His neighbor comes in, and he's looking at the narrator's children's room. So he's in his underwear, he's almost naked, looking at the kids' room. And so the narrator hits him and rolls him out of the house. And he's like, I don't even know what to say to you. Just leave and don't do this again. Then the narrator's wife gets home. So Karen gets home. And the narrator takes her aside, and they decide together that they're going to keep the doors locked. And if this Adams is home, the kids are not going to be allowed outside. So if he's home, the kids stay inside. And then after dinner, he's like, well, I don't even know. That's not enough. What if we make a mistake? What if anything happens? What if he gets to my children? He's like, it's not acceptable. I won't put up with it. And so he goes over to the neighbor's house. He goes over to Adam's house and asks, where is he? We've got Lynn, who we assume is the man's wife. We assume it's Adam's wife, who says he's upstairs. Why? And then so the narrator goes upstairs and he hits Adams again, and the man tries to get out of the room on all fours, so he's crabbing out. So he's crawling on all fours out of the room, but the narrator puts a foot on the man's back and he says, if you ever again do this. So he's threatening him. Up I went is just I went upstairs. Does that make sense to everybody? Does everybody understand the story so far?
Yes.
Okay. And David, can you read until intervening?
From now we are?
Yeah, now we're even.
Now we are even, he said. I came in your house and you came in mine. Only I had pants on, I said, and mind wonk him in the back of his head. I am what I am, he said. Well, that took the cake, him admitting it, so I woke him again. As Lynn came in saying, "Hey Roger, hey," Roger being me, and then he raised up, which killed me, him rising up against me, and I am about to woke him again, but she pushed in there like intervening.
Okay, she pushes.
She pushes.
Yeah.
Pushes.
Rising.
Rising.
Mini wonked.
Mini wonk.
Mini wonked.
Mini wonked.
Good.
Mini wonked.
Which is just so the use of wonk in this story instead of hit is a narrative device to make it sound funnier and less serious. But you know, if you go into somebody's house and hit them in the back of the head, it sounds, you know, it sounds more serious than, you know, going into somebody's house and like just mini wonking him on the back of the head. Mini wonking just sounds funnier. Okay, and so that's that. Questions here.
That took the cake. Does it mean that it overrated, like it was the last drop?
Kind of. It's like that won the prize. You know, that was just too much. It was. So if something takes a cake, he's using it kind of ironically. It's generally something that wins a prize. So if you're in a fair and you do something really good, it's like you win the cake. You take the cake. It's a phrase that we often use ironically in that it means, you know, that was just like the worst thing he could have done. So we kind of use it in the opposite sense. It was just like, I couldn't even believe it. Does that make sense at all?
Yes. For example, she sang that beautiful song in the competition, and that took the cake. Can we use it in that situation?
Yeah, you could use it in that situation. We almost always use it ironically. So you can use it for a good situation, but generally, you know, when I came back and saw my students cheating, just blatantly, that just took the cake. You know, I couldn't believe it. It was like the most horrible like thing that I couldn't believe would be taking the cake. So it's an ironic usage. It's saying
Thank
the
you.
exact opposite. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. And Rebecca, can you read the next little paragraph?
So to warn him again, I had to like shove her back, and unfortunately she slipped, and down she went, and she's sort of lying there. Cart hiked up, and he's mad at me. Him in his underwear, facing my kids' room, and he's mad at me. Many at night I've heard assorted wonks and babs from Adam's house, with her gasping, "Frank, Jesus, and I am a woman. You are hurting me. The kids are watching, and so on."
Okay. Jesus?
Jesus.
Jesus. Like that? Jesus?
Jesus.
Good. Hiked
Hiked,
and unfortunately.
unfortunately.
Good.
Unfortunately.
Hmm?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Okay. Do.
Thank you.
Questions? Okay. So we've got the wife who comes in and he kind of the narrator pushes her back, and she falls down. So down she went, she falls down, and she's lying on the ground, and her skirt is raised up her legs, and then Adams, the neighbor, gets mad. And the narrator is like, can't believe he's mad. He was in his underwear facing my kid's room, and he's mad at me. And then he also justifies it by saying, many nights Adams has wonked and bapped, so he's hit his wife with her, being hit, saying, Frank, I can't believe it. I'm a woman. You're hurting me. The kids are watching, so on. So we get the idea that Adams also hits his wife. And yeah, that's what the narrator is telling us now. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions there? Okay. Tariq, can you read maybe the next part until stunned? Sorry, hold on. Until stunned? Actually, maybe until dramatic. Read until dramatic? Tariq?
Because that's the kind of guy he is. So I wonked him again, and when she crawled at me going, please, please, I had to push her back down. Not in mean way, but in like a stay there way. Which is when, of course, just my luck, the kids come running in these Adams kids. I should say are little thespians constantly, etc., etc. So they're, all dramatic.
Good. Came running in. Came.
Came running.
Good. A thespian is an actor, so somebody who acts in theater would be called a thespian. Hopefully that makes sense. And any other questions here? Okay, so the
When
kids
she
come in.
crawl at me, it's shot at. It's the meaning shot.
So she crawled at me.
Yes.
So when you're on your hands and your knees, because she's on the ground, and the wife who he pushed over is crawling towards him, saying, "Please, please, don't hit him." And so like he pushed her back down. So not in a mean way, but in a stay there way. So he's pushing her away because he wants to hit Adams again. And then the kids come in, and let's have Luva. Can you read the next part?
Mommy, Daddy, and okay, that was unfortunate. So I tried to leave, but they were standing there in the doorway, blocking me like, duh, we do not know which way to turn. We are stunned. So I shoved my way out, not rough, very gentle. I felt for them, having on more than one occasion heard Adams wailing on them, too. But one did go down just on one knee, and I helped her up, and she tried to bite me.
Good. Wailing is
Wailing?
like hitting them too. So Adams also not only hits his wife, but he hits the children, and so he feels bad. The narrator feels bad for them. Any other questions here? Okay.
What is this?
Go ahead.
I'm always interrupting you, sorry.
No, keep going.
This word blocking me like D-U-H.
Like duh.
What does
duh
it
is like,
stand for?
It's like obviously. So somebody's not. It's like obvious. It's a sound you make if you're like the this like idea of not knowing, of being like not smart or just like confused.
Oh, I see.
You kind of make that sound like duh. Like, I don't really know. But you can use it if you say, like, duh. It's like, obviously.
Okay.
So that's kind of how he's using it. Like, they are stunned and, yeah.
Thank you.
Anyways, other questions? Okay. And so the kid tries to bite him. And let's have Amp. Can you read until no? Go ahead.
She did not seem to know what was what, and it hurt and made me mad. So I went over to Adams, who was just getting up, and gave him this like proxy wonk on top of his head in exchange for the beating. Keep your damn, I said. Keep your goddamn kids from. Then I needed some air, so I walked around the block, but still it wasn't sitting right because now it began, you know?
Yeah. It still wasn't sitting right. Can you explain
Still,
that, Amp?
uh,
What's that mean?
she was still complaining. She didn't feel happy yet. She wants to, well, at least, well, even when she have already faced the guy, she's not happy yet. It's like she had still the problem in her head.
Okay, this is a man. The narrator is a man.
Yeah, the, yeah, she's
Yeah,
still thinking about the problem.
he is still thinking
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
yeah.
So the problem is still there. Like, the problem wasn't solved. Can you also repeat biting in exchange for the biting?
Biden.
Yeah. Okay. And questions here. Okay. So the girl bites him, and yeah, the man doesn't know what to do. So instead of hitting the girl, because she's a girl, he doesn't want to hit her, he goes over and hits her dad again. So he gives her a proxy wonk. So instead of hitting the girl, he hits the dad. It's like a replacement hit, I guess you could say. And then, he's mad. He walks around the block, and he still can't, believe what's happening. David, can you read the next part? David?
Yes, I was speaking it. And over there all pissed off, saying false things about me to those kids, which, due to what they had seen walking, and what they had not seen, him in his underwear facing my kids' room, they were probably swallowing every mistruth, and I was like, great, now they hate me like I'm the bad guy in this, and all summer is going to be pranked. My house slid and syrup is in my gas tank, or all of a sudden, or our dog has a burn mark on her belly.
All of a sudden.
All, all of a sudden.
Hmm?
All of a sudden.
Questions here?
Piss off.
Angry? It's, yeah. Angry. Don't use it in nice company. But it means angry. Any other questions?
Mistruth.
Lie. Every not truth. Or lie. So he's worried that Adams is telling the children lies about the narrator. Okay. And let's have Tariq. Can you read the next part? Tariq? Tariq, are you there? All right,
Yes,
Lula. Oh,
I sure. I sure. So I type up these light bills saying, just so you know, your dad was standing naked in my kitchen, facing my kids' room, and I tape on inside their screen door so they'll be sure and see it when they go to the softball later. Then I stuff like 9 in their mailbox. And on the rest, I cross out your dad and put in.
Okay. Tariq, your connection is not the greatest. I can't quite hear you. So yeah. So I put it in Frank Adams and distribute them in
Is it
mailboxes
okay?
around the box. No,
No?
it's not the greatest. You're breaking up a bit. Okay. And so, questions here? Does anybody have any questions? Okay. So yeah, he lets everybody know what the dad did. Luva, can you try the next one?
All night it's a call after call from the neighbors saying, you know, call the cops, Adams needs help. He's a goof. I've always hated him. Maybe a few of us should go over there. Let us work with you on this. Do not lose your cool. That sort of thing. Which was all well and good. But then I go out for a smoke around midnight, and what is he looking at? All hateful? Their houses? Don't kid yourself. He's looking at my house with that with that smoldering look. And I'm like, what are you looking at? I'm what I am,
Nice.
he says.
That was really good, really good. Who? Sorry. Nice job with smoldering.
Bless you.
Thanks. Sorry. Um, questions here.
Smoldering.
It's like burning. So something that is smoldering is like a coal. It's burning up. So he's like really, really angry. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it's a negative connotation, right?
Yes, it's definitely negative.
Smoldering.
A goof. Goof, Joshua.
A goof is like somebody who's silly. He's like a
Goofy.
strange person. He's a goof. Yeah, it's like an understatement. It can be for somebody who's kind of creepy in a bad way too. Would be a goof. Yeah.
Is there a word like goofy? He's goofy?
Yeah.
He's like silly?
Silly. Yeah, would be goofy.
Is it a negative as well?
It's not as negative. So in this case, he's a goof. I mean, you can use goof in kind of like a. It's just he's a silly. He's a goof. He's not very serious. Yeah, this is an understatement. So it's not generally used seriously, but it can be. I don't know if that makes sense. And any other questions? Okay. And I am, he says. And let's have Amp, can you read until Champ?
You jerk, I say. I rush over to wonk him, but he runs inside. And as far as cops, my feeling was, what am I supposed to do? Wait until he's back in my house, then call the cops and hope that he stays facing my kids' room in his shorts until they arrive? No, sorry, that is not my way. The next day, my little guy, Brian, is standing at the back door with his kite, and I like reach over and pop the door shut, going, no, no, you know very well why not, champ.
Good. Nope, nope. You know very well why not, Champ. That sounded good. You jerk.
Jerk.
Perfect. Questions here? All right. So this guy is afraid for his children. He's also like, I can't really call the cops because what are they gonna do? You know, it's kind of useless to call the cops. And then the next day, his son wants to go outside and fly a kite. Oh, wants to go outside and fly a kite, but can't because, you know, the dad is nervous about the neighbor. So hopefully that makes sense. And let's have David. Can you read until hate?
Sure. So,
Sorry.
no, okay, no problem.
Go ahead.
So there is my poor kid. Kid in lab all afternoon, watching some dumb art guys on PBS saying, shading is one way we make depth. How about trying it relevant to this stamper? Then Monday morning I see Adams walking toward his car, and again he gives me that smoldering look. Never have I received such a hateful look, and flips me the bird, as if he is the one who is right. So I rush over to warn him, only he gets in the car and pulls away. All day that look was in my mind, that look of hate.
Good. Let's look at kite.
And what does kite mean?
A kite is something that flies. It's like a little triangular thing. So you've got a string to the ground,
Okay.
and then a triangle
Right.
that flies, yeah, in the wind.
Mhm.
And then depth.
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 And so yeah, he's just watching an art show on PBS, Public Broadcasting System. Yeah, and that's it.
Mhm.
And flips me the bird, gives me the middle finger.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So if somebody's giving you the middle finger, they're flipping you the bird. Any other questions here? Okay, let's go on to the next part. And let's have Luva. Can you read until the next hands, maybe?
And I thought, if that was me, if I had that hate level, what would I do? Well, one thing I would do is hold it in and hold it in, and then one night it would overflow, and I would sneak in the house of my enemy and stab him and his family in their sleep. Wow. Oh, shoot them. I would. You would have to. It's a human nature. I'm not blaming anybody. I thought I have to be cautious and protect my family or their blood will be on my hands.
Good.
Wow. Devious
Yeah, so
ideas.
we've got the narrator, and he's freaking out about Adams hating them. He's just like, you know what? If I was Adams, I would kill me and my family. So, you know, he's kind of going crazy. Any questions here? Okay. Amp, can you read the next part?
So I came home early and went over to Adam's house when I knew nobody was home, and gathered up his rifle from the basement and their sticked knife, and also the butter knives, which could be sharpened, and also their knife sharpener, and also two leather openers and a heavy paperweight, which, if I was him, had lost all my guns and knives, I would definitely use that to bash in the head of my enemy in his sleep, as well as the heads of his family.
Yeah. Can you repeat knives?
Knives.
Other than that, really nicely done. Any questions? Okay, so he's taking everything from Adam's house that could be a weapon. Oh man. Okay, and let's have David. Can you read the next part?
Sure. That night I slept better until I woke in a sweat, asking myself what I would do if someone came in and, after showing down my wife and one of my kids, stole my guns and knives and a knife sharpener as well as my paperweight. And I answered myself, what I would do is look around my house in a frenzy for something else dangerous, such as paint, such as thinner, such as household chemicals, and then either ring the house of my enemy with the toxics and set them on fire or pour some into the pool of my enemy, which would first rot the liner and second sicken the children of my enemy when they went swimming.
Nice, that sounded good. You could say which would first rot the liner, or you could say one, which would one rot the liner, and two sicken the children of my enemy. Um, but yeah, I woke in a sweat. I woke in a sweat.
In a sweat, right.
Uh,
Sweet.
Rot is like pudrir, amp. So it's when something like decomposes, it is rotting. So decomposing, yeah, like fruit, if you leave it in the sun, will rot. Just for everybody who doesn't understand Spanish. Any questions here?
Frenzy.
In a frenzy is like a moment of craziness.
Mm.
So when we think about feeding frenzy, like when sharks go crazy for food, it's called a frenzy. When they kind of lose their cool for a moment.
And thinner is the same, is the thing. It's like a liquid, no?
Yeah, thinner is a liquid used to remove paint.
To remove paint, right. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Okay. Tariq, can you read the next little part?
Sure, Dad.
Hold
Then
on.
I looked into.
Go ahead.
Okay. Then I looked in on my sleeping kids and, oh my God, now where are their kids as sweet as my kids? And standing there in my pajamas, thinking of Adam standing there in his underwear. Then imagining my kids choking and vomiting as they struggled to get off the pool. I thought, no, no way, I'm not living like this.
And maybe one little more.
Okay, so entering through a window I had forced earlier that afternoon, I gathered up all the household, and believe me, he had a lot more than I did, more than he needed. Thinner, paint, light, gas, solvents, etc.
Etc. It's more of an etc.
etc.
Good. Okay, questions here. No questions? Okay.
Lie.
Okay, lye is something that is used to make soap. Have you ever seen Fight Club? Amp?
If I ever heard what?
Have you ever seen the movie Fight Club?
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
Okay. So lye is a chemical that burns skin. It's also used in soap. So if you use it in soap, it's neutralized. But if you just have pure lye, it will burn you severely. It's just a type of chemical. Make sense?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And okay, I guess we're good. And I guess Luba, can you read until the end of the page?
Okay. I got it all in like 9 hefty bags, and I was just starting up the stairs with the first bag when here comes the whole damn family, falling upon me, even his kids, whipping me with coat hangers and hitting me with sharp-edged books, and spraying hairspray in my eyes. The dog also nipping at me, and rolling down the stairs of the basement. I thought, they're trying to kill me. Hitting my head on the concrete floor, I saw stars and thought, no, really they're going to kill me, and if they kill me, no more little Melanie and me eating from the same popcorn bowl. No more little Brian doing that wrinkled brow thing we do back and forth when one of us makes a bad joke. Never again Karen and me lying side by side afterward, looking out the window, discussing our future plans as those yellow-beaked birds come and go on their power line.
Good. Okay, questions here.
He's going crazy.
Well, sort of, yeah. I mean, he's going crazy. He's stealing all of their chemicals, their
He's
household
too
chemicals.
worried.
Definitely too worried. He's got all their chemicals in 9 hefty bags. So we're talking like big black trash bags. And he's starting up the stairs. So he's trying to come up the stairs from the basement when the whole family like falls upon him. So everybody is hitting him, they're whipping him with coat hangers, hitting him with sharp-edged books and spraying hairspray in his eyes. And the dog is even nipping at him. So everything is against him. And he
They were
rolls.
prepared.
They were prepared, yeah, after he stole all their guns and knives and paperweights. And then he's like rolling down the stairs to the basement. And he's like, they're going to kill me. And then he hits his head on the concrete floor of the basement. And he's like, well, they're really going to kill me. And if they kill me, I won't have my daughter, and we won't eat popcorn in the same bowl, and Brian, my son, and I won't be able to, like, do our inside jokes, and Karen and I aren't going to be able to talk about their future plan and look out the window at the yellow-beaked birds. And let's have Amp. Can you finish the story?
And I struggled to my feet, thinking, forget how I got here. I'm here. I must get out of here. I have to leave. And I began to walk, and once they had fallen back, with Adams and his teenage boy huddled over the little one, who had unfortunately flown relatively far due to a bit of a kick I had given her. I took out my lighter and fired up the bag of toxics, and made for the light at the top of the stairs, where I knew the door was, and the night was, and my freedom, and my house, and my home.
Good. Okay. That sounded really good. Nice job with unfortunately and relatively. All right. So, what happened in this story, David? What happened?
No, actually, I am lost, Joshua. Sorry.
Okay.
Well,
Who
I
can-
I need a little bit. It's about a guy that is a little bit creepy. Is a neighbor,
Yeah.
and the man is worried about the safetyness of his family,
Yeah. Of his kids
of
especially.
his kids. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And what happens at the end? Who knows? Like what's happened in this last little paragraph?
Are they still in the basement? Because if he went up the stairs and fired up the bags
Yeah.
of toxics, they would die in the basement, I guess.
Yep. Yep.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Then he would go to prison, I guess, because like he killed the whole family.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So he has collected all the toxins and the family's in the basement, and he lights the toxins on fire and burns down the house. And he goes back home. Yeah, so that's what happens. He pretty much, you're supposed to imply that he kills his family.
But now he would lost his family because he would go to prison, and okay, he solved the problem. His kids are safe now, but they are not with him.
Yeah, for sure. This is good. Okay, and okay, so this was written right after the U.S. got into the war in Iraq. So it could be taken kind of as an allegory. I mean, obviously it works as a story in itself, but if it's an allegory, doesn't anybody get like what it might be an allegory of? Any ideas? Nothing? Amp?
Well, maybe the refers to the how the thoughts of the people change after that, and they are just having the racist hatred.
Uh-huh.
They don't feel sure, and
Yeah.
they try to have the to take action for themselves
Mhm.
because they think that it's their duty to protect their families. And
Yeah.
sometimes it produces that kind of violence.
Mhm. I think that's really good. Like, so fear and how fear affects decision makings. I think that's good. Okay. Yeah. All right. I mean, does anybody else have any questions or comments or ideas or thoughts or anything like that? Nobody with anything? Okay. I don't know. What did you think of the story, David? What did you think?
Yes, well, it's a complex story. Lot of vocabulary that I didn't know.
Yeah.
The phrases were complex. Mm, I think that we can improve our reading, intonation, pronunciation, vocabulary with these difficult lectures.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it was okay.
Okay.
It was great.
Nice. What about you, Luba? What do you think?
If we speak about allegory, I think that everything starts with our children, the way we raise them, and there was an extract in the story where one father tries to prove that his point of view is the only right,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, then he tries to tell the kids that the neighbor is a wrong guy here. Like he typed and distributed notes about that other guy.
Yeah.
So like our kids don't know the world, and the way we show them that world, that way they will see it through our window. I don't know how to put that. And as it was good to say that fear affects the decision making, we put the seeds of the fear towards others when they're young, when they're little. And sometimes we don't have a problem, but we create that problem inside ourselves, and then we create as eventually that problem in front of us.
Okay.
So something like that.
Nice. Good points. I like that. Okay. We are just about out of time. Does anybody have any like last comments or questions?
No, thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming in and have
Thank
a
you
really
very
good
much.
Thank you,
See you
teacher. Take
later.
care. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.